So this is one of those occasions where you should be glad it's not smell-o-vision. It absolutely reeks of petrol in here. And even though I carefully inspect the fuel pipe, there's no sign of any leaks. I put blue paper around all the joins, there's nothing like that. So as I said, I think all it can be is that the actual pipe itself is sweating out the fuel. There used to be a link, a description on Speedfuel website that I can't find now, and it listed all the different fuel pipes that they do and said which ones allowed fuel vapour out and which ones didn't, and therefore which ones were suitable for in-car use. But I can't for the life of me find it now, so I'll show you what I'm dealing with. So that's where the fuel pipe comes through the rear bulkhead. As you can see, it's got a P-clip in there. Runs along. I've obviously stripped all the carpet and everything out so we can get at it, and I've started snipping off the cable ties that hold it to the brake pipe, and that's the battery lead there as well. It was never going to move, and there it goes, disappearing along, and then up under the dash, which is way under there, somewhere in the back of all that mess, is the fuel pipe. I don't know if I can see that even. No, it's very hard to see, but with the camera anyway. But in the back of there, you can just see a little bit of red in the middle of that screen. That's where the pipe goes through. So I'm going to have to strip it all out and replace it with the new Teflon lined pipe that I've got. But the only issue I've got is I need to get all the fuel out of it, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think the best thing I can do is connect my fuel filler device that I've got bodged up, which is basically a battery and a pump and then a can to put it into, and connect it onto the lines in the boot and see if it'll suck all the fuel out of it before I start undoing it in here, because I obviously don't want fuel spilling out all over the inside of the car. It's not going to smell any worse, but it won't do me paint any good. Okay, so this is the solution I've come up with to drain the fuel out of the line. That's my feed line, normal feed line to the front. Just spliced it into this red hose here, which is the suction hose for my fuel pump transfer thing that I made. So this is it. It's just a battery, a couple of pumps, a switch and some cables, and then the black hose you can see coming out is going into a catch tank. So the question is, what happens now? Does it suck any fluid out, any fuel out? So if we turn it on, we should be able to see if there's anything that comes into that filter. Doesn't look like it. You would have thought there'd be some in there. It sounds like it's sucking. But whether it's asking too much to pull it back through the fuel filter or not, because it's going the wrong way. Let's try something else. Okay then, so round two. Again, I've got my fuel transfer contraption here. This time I've gone to the front. There's my red pipe again, and it's on the end of the fuel rail, basically where it goes into where it would normally go back into the fuel pressure reg. So it's sucking it all the way back around here through the throttle bodies and through that pipe that goes there and down and back. So let's see what happens this time. So we'll watch the filter, flick a switch. And there we go, there's fuel coming back through, getting sucked out of the pipework. There won't be much of it. That could be about it. No leaks. Okay, so I'll switch that off. Okay then, moment of truth. I've drained out as much fuel as I could, so let's see what happens when I undoes it. It is the lowest point of the fuel system. Bound to be some fuel in here somewhere, but I would have hoped I'd got most of it out. God, it's tight. Oh, here we go. Do it as slow as I can and see if it starts pissing out. Nothing yet. Whoa, well look at that. Nothing leaking out, which is nice. So what I'll do now is I'll undo that pipe all the way back to the front and attempt to undo it under the dash, but there's no way I can film that because I can't even hardly get my hands in, never mind my hands in a camera. So that's looking quite successful. Next job will be after this. I'll get the new pipe, show you that, and we'll measure it to the same length as this one, put the ends on, put it in and clamp it all in place and test it. Sounds simple when you say it quickly. Okay then, back in the garage. It's noticeable already how much less fuel smelly the interior of the car is. You can actually smell the air freshener, which proves, I think, that it was the fuel that was in the pipe that was causing the stink in there. It's just no smell of fuel at all, even though there's open pipes at either end. So yeah, that proves that the problem was that stupid fuel pipe. So what I've got tonight is this new pipe. Turn it around. So this is the new pipe I'm going to use. It's got a Teflon lining, which you can see down inside there, and then a stainless steel overbraid. It's quite a lot different in diameter, overall diameter, compared to the one that I had before. So I've changed the P clips from like 16mm P clips to 10s. It should be alright. And what you do with this one is you pull back this overbraid, or what you do is put the outside part of the connector on first, and then peel back the overbraid, and then put an olive over the plastic or Teflon liner, so it sits between the overbraid and the plastic, and the end of the plastic pipe is up as far into the olive as it can go, and then you just nip the two parts together. That's the olive that goes down between the overbraid and the plastic, and then this is the part you put on first that screws up onto it, and this is the other end. Once you've got your olive in here, that pushes down inside it, and then this part comes up. I can't do it with both hands. This part comes up and meets that part, and then you nip it up and it compresses the olive, and it's all sweet. It's the same way I've done all the brake pipes on the Red Hot as well. They're just done with dash 3 or dash 4, can't remember, dash 3 I think, and this is dash 6, same size as what's already on, but as I said, totally different. Physical size is totally different. So all I've got to do now is cut this to the same length as the old one that's hanging up, and then put these ends on, which is easier said than done. I'll probably have to cut this end off just to tidy it up, because the lining looks a bit damaged in there. I don't think I'll get a good seal. If you want to see a better explanation of all these pipes and how they all fit together, the Skid Factory did a recent episode where Al went through it and showed you how they all go together, and that is, well, I think it was speed flow fittings, the same as what these are, but it looked very similar anyway, so it gives you a good idea of how a professional would use it and not me. Okay then, another night, another day's progress, afternoon's progress. I was down at Mini Spares this morning picking up some bits from Rich. Some of the parts which I'm going to be fitting hopefully this weekend. Fuel pipes in, and it's tested, it didn't leak, which is the main thing. I'll turn it round. There you go, there's the fuel pipe. Head along under the carpet, which I've got back in behind the light, and then all P-clipped into place at various intervals, and cable ties, and then disappearing up under the dash. What I'm going to do now, or what I've started to do now, is take out the heater, because I've got a new heater matrix to go in it, because I think I've damaged it with it not being properly secured inside the heater casing, and it's got some damage and it's weeping, so I'm going to change that. While I'm in there, if I can just move the light, I'm going to change that. Is the dim dip switch, which has always been problematical when I've been driving overnight. So what I'm going to do is, using an indicator stalk, I'm going to use the indicator stalk to trigger a relay to replace all that. That's the plan anyway. And I'm also going to change the ignition switch there, because when it didn't start on the way back from Mini in the park, I did think it was a slightly dicky ignition switch, so I can't really trust it at the moment, so I'll take it out, put a fresh one in, and keep that one as a spare and carry it about with me. So that's going to be this weekend's work, because it's bank holiday weekend. So work on the heater next, and then start doing the stuff and rearranging the wiring and adding on the extra stalk on the steering column. It's going to go over there somewhere, I don't know, probably mount it below this one. Come on this side. I'd like to change the colour of the bulb to get a blue light instead of a green, but obviously the outer cover, the plastic cover that goes on the end, is green. So I don't know, green and yellow mix, no, I don't know, blue and yellow mix green, so no, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but that's the plan anyway. But the most important thing is solve the heater, because it's leaking, and we know the fuel line doesn't leak so far anyway. Oh, I don't want to drop the new one. Clever. Oops.